A Psalm by David. Render to the Lord, children of the mighty. Render to the Lord honor and strength. Render to the Lord the honor due to his name. Bow down to the Lord in resplendent holiness. The voice of the Lord is over the waters, the God of glory thunders. The Lord is over mighty waters. The voice of the Lord resounds with might. The voice of the Lord resounds with majesty. The voice of the Lord breaks cedars. The Lord shatters the cedars of Lebanon. He makes them leap like a calf, Lebanon and Syrian like a young wild ox. The voice of the Lord strikes flames of fire. The voice of the Lord makes the desert tremble. The Lord causes the desert of Kadesh to tremble. The voice of the Lord causes the does to calve and strips the forests bare. And in his sanctuary I'll proclaim his glory. The Lord sat as king at the flood. The Lord will sit as king forever. The Lord will give strength to his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. A Psalm, a song of dedication of the house by David. I exalt you, Lord, for you have uplifted me and did not allow my enemies to rejoice over me. Lord my God, I cried out to you and you healed me. Lord, you have brought up my soul from the grave. You have kept me alive that I should not descend to the pit. Sing to the Lord, you his pious ones, and praise his holy name. For his wrath endures but for a moment. When he is conciliated, there is long life. When one retires at night weeping, joy will come in the morning. In my security I thought, I shall never falter. Lord, by your favor you have made my mountain stand strong. When you concealed your countenance, I was alarmed. I called to you, O Lord, and I made supplication to my Lord. What profit is there in my death, in my going down to the grave? Can dust praise you? Can it proclaim your truth, Lord? Hear and be gracious to me. Lord, be a help to me. You have turned my mourning into dancing. You have undone my sackcloth and girded me with joy. Therefore my soul shall sing to you and not be silent. Lord my God, I will praise you forever. For the conductor, a psalm by David. In you I have taken shelter. O Lord, I shall never be shamed. Rescue me in your righteousness. Turn your ear to me, save me quickly. Be to me a rock of refuge, a fortress to deliver me. For you are my rock and my fortress. For the sake of your name, direct me and lead me. Remove me from the net they planted for me, for you are my stronghold. I entrust my spirit into your hand. You will redeem me, Lord God of truth. I despise those who anticipate worthless vanities, but I trust in the Lord. I will rejoice and delight in your kindness, for you have seen my affliction. You know the troubles of my soul. You have not delivered me into the hand of the enemy. You have set my feet on spacious ground. Be gracious to me, O Lord, for I am in distress. My eye wastes away from vexation, my soul in my stomach. For my life is spent in sorrow, my years in sighing. My strength fails because of my iniquity, and my bones are wasted away. Because of my adversaries I have become a disgrace exceedingly to my neighbors and a dread to my friends. Those who see me outside flee from me. Like a dead man I was forgotten from the heart. I became like a lost vessel. For I have heard the slander of many, terror on every side when they assembled together against me and plotted to take my life. But I trusted in you, O Lord. I said, you are my God. My times are in your hand. Save me from the hands of my enemies and pursuers. Shine your countenance upon your servant. Deliver me in your kindness. O Lord, let me not be ashamed, for I have called you. Let the wicked be shamed. Let them be silent to the grave. Let the lips of falsehood which speak insolently against the righteous, with arrogance and contempt, be struck dumb. How abundant is your good that you have hidden for those who fear you. In the presence of man, you have acted for those who take refuge in you. Conceal them from the haughtiness of man in the shelter of your countenance. Hide them in a shelter from the strife of tongues. Blessed is the Lord, for he has been wondrous in his kindness to me in a besieged city. I said in my panic, I am cut off from before your eyes. But in truth, you heard the voice of my pleas when I cried to you. Love the Lord, all his pious ones. The Lord preserves the faithful and repays with exactness those who act haughtily. Be strong and fortify your hearts, all who put their hope in the Lord. By David, a maskil. Fortunate is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Fortunate is the man to whom the Lord does not reckon his sin, and in whose spirit there is no deceit. When I was silent, my limbs wore away through my wailing all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy upon me. My marrow became dry as the droughts of summer, Selah. My sin I made known to you. My iniquity I did not cover. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord. And you have forgiven the iniquity of my transgression forever. For this let every pious man pray to you, at a time when you may be found. Indeed, the flood of many waters will not reach him. You are a refuge to me. Protect me from distress. Surround me with songs of deliverance forever. I will enlighten you and educate you in the path you should go. I will advise you with what I have seen. Be not like a horse, like a mule, senseless, that must be muzzled with bit and bridle when being adorned, so that it not come near you. Many are the agonies of the wicked, but he who trusts in the Lord is surrounded by kindness. Rejoice in the Lord and exult, you righteous ones. Sing joyously, all you upright of heart. A psalm intended to enlighten and impart knowledge, Metzudat. Sing joyously to the Lord, you righteous ones. It is fitting for the upright to offer praise. Extol the Lord with a harp. Sing to him with a 10-stringed lyre. Sing to him a new song. Play well with sounds of jubilation. For the word of the Lord is just. All his deeds are done in faithfulness. He loves righteousness and justice. The kindness of the Lord fills the earth. By the word of the Lord the heavens were made, and by the breath of his mouth all their hosts. He gathers the waters of the sea like a mound. He places the deep waters in vaults. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the world tremble before him. For he spoke, and it came to be. He commanded, and it endured. The Lord has annulled the counsel of nations. He has foiled the schemes of peoples. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the thoughts of his heart throughout all generations. Fortunate is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he chose as a heritage for himself. The Lord looks down from heaven. He beholds all mankind. From his dwelling place he looks intently upon all the inhabitants of the earth. It is he who fashions the hearts of them all, who perceives all their actions. The king is not saved by a great army, nor a warrior rescued by great might. The horse is a false guarantee for victory. With all its great strength it offers no escape. But the eye of the Lord is directed toward those who fear him, toward those who hope for his kindness, to save their soul from death and to sustain them during famine. Our soul yearns for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, for we have put our trust in his holy name. May your kindness, Lord, be upon us as we have placed our hope in you. By David when he feigned insanity before Abimelech, who then drove him away and he left. I bless the Lord at all times. His praise is always in my mouth. My soul glories in the Lord. Let the humble hear it and rejoice. Exalt the Lord with me, and let us extol his name together. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never humiliated. This poor man called, and the Lord heard. He delivered him from all his tribulations. The angel of the Lord camps around those who fear him and rescues them. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Fortunate is the man who trusts in him. Fear the Lord, you his holy ones, for those who fear him suffer no want. Young lions may want and hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Come, children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Who is the man who desires life, who loves long life wherein to see goodness? Guard your tongue from evil, and your lips from speaking deceit. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are directed toward the righteous, and his ears toward their cry. The wrath of the Lord is upon the evildoers to excise their memory from the earth. But when they repent and cry out, the Lord hears and saves them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those with a crushed spirit. Many are the afflictions of a righteous person, but the Lord rescues him from them all. He protects all his bones. Not one of them is broken. Evil brings death upon the wicked, and the enemies of the righteous are condemned. The Lord redeems the soul of his servants. All who take shelter in him are not condemned. A psalm by David. Render to the Lord, children of the mighty. Render to the Lord honor and strength. Render to the Lord the honor due to his name. Bow down to the Lord in resplendent holiness. The voice of the Lord is over the waters. The God of glory thunders. The Lord is over mighty waters. The voice of the Lord resounds with might. The voice of the Lord resounds with majesty. The voice of the Lord breaks cedars. The Lord shatters the cedars of Lebanon. He makes them leap like a calf, Lebanon and Syrian like a young wild ox. The voice of the Lord strikes flames of fire. The voice of the Lord makes the desert tremble. The Lord causes the desert of Kadesh to tremble. The voice of the Lord causes the dews to calve, and strips the forests bare, and in his sanctuary all proclaim his glory. The Lord sat as king at the flu. The Lord will sit as king forever. The Lord will give strength to his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. A psalm, a song of dedication of the house by David. I exalt you, Lord, for you have uplifted me, and did not allow my enemies to rejoice over me. Lord my God, I cried out to you, and you healed me. Lord, you have brought up my soul from the grave. You have kept me alive, that I should not descend to the pit. Sing to the Lord, you his pious ones, and praise his holy name. For his wrath endures but for a moment. When he is conciliated, there is long life. When one retires at night weeping, joy will come in the morning. In my security I thought, I shall never falter. Lord, by your favor you have made my mountain stand strong. When you concealed your countenance, I was alarmed. I called to you, O Lord, and I made supplication to my Lord. What profit is there in my death, in my going down to the grave? Can dust praise you? Can it proclaim your truth, Lord? Hear and be gracious to me. Lord, be a help to me. You have turned my mourning into dancing. You have undone my sackcloth and girded me with joy. Therefore my soul shall sing to you and not be silent. Lord my God, I will praise you forever. For the conductor, a psalm by David. In you I have taken shelter, O Lord, I shall never be shamed. Rescue me in your righteousness. Turn your ear to me. Save me quickly. Be to me a rock of refuge, a fortress to deliver me. For you are my rock and my fortress. For the sake of your name, direct me and lead me. Remove me from the net they planted for me, for you are my stronghold. I entrust my spirit into your hand. You will redeem me, Lord God of truth. I despise those who anticipate worthless vanities, but I trust in the Lord. I will rejoice and delight in your kindness, for you have seen my affliction. You know the troubles of my soul. You have not delivered me into the hand of the enemy. You have set my feet on spacious ground. Be gracious to me, O Lord, for I am in distress. My eye wastes away from vexation, my soul and my stomach. For my life is spent in sorrow, my years in sighing. My strength fails because of my iniquity, and my bones are wasted away. Because of my adversaries I have become a disgrace, exceedingly to my neighbors and a dread to my friends. Those who see me outside flee from me. Like a dead man, I was forgotten from the heart. I became like a lost vessel. For I have heard the slander of many, terror on every side when they assembled together against me and plotted to take my life. But I trusted in you, O Lord. I said, you are my God. My times are in your hand. Save me from the hands of my enemies and pursuers. Shine your countenance upon your servant. Deliver me in your kindness. O Lord, let me not be ashamed, for I have called you. Let the wicked be shamed. Let them be silent to the grave. Let the lips of falsehood which speak insolently against the righteous with arrogance and contempt be struck dumb. How abundant is your good that you have hidden for those who fear you. In the presence of man, you have acted for those who take refuge in you. Conceal them from the haughtiness of man in the shelter of your countenance. Hide them in a shelter from the strife of tongues. Blessed is the Lord, for he has been wondrous in his kindness to me in a besieged city. I said in my panic, I am cut off from before your eyes. But in truth, You heard the voice of my pleas when I cried to you. Love the Lord, all his pious ones. The Lord preserves the faithful and repays with exactness those who act haughtily. Be strong and fortify your hearts, all who put their hope in the Lord. By David, a maskil. Fortunate is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Fortunate is the man to whom the Lord does not reckon his sin, and in whose spirit there is no deceit. When I was silent, my limbs wore away through my wailing all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy upon me. My marrow became dry as the droughts of summer, Selah. My sin I made known to you. My iniquity I did not cover. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord. And you have forgiven the iniquity of my transgression forever. For this let every pious man pray to you at a time when you may be found. Indeed, the flood of many waters will not reach him. You are a refuge to me. Protect me from distress. Surround me with songs of deliverance forever. I will enlighten you and educate you in the path you should go. I will advise you with what I have seen. Be not like a horse, like a mule, senseless that must be muzzled with bit and bridle when being adorned, so that it not come near you. Many are the agonies of the wicked, but he who trusts in the Lord is surrounded by kindness. Rejoice in the Lord and exult, you righteous ones. Sing joyously, all you upright of heart. Sing joyously to the Lord, you righteous ones. It is fitting for the upright to offer praise. Extol the Lord with a harp. Sing to him with a 10-stringed lyre. Sing to him a new song. Play well with sounds of jubilation. For the word of the Lord is just. All his deeds are done in faithfulness. He loves righteousness and justice. The kindness of the Lord fills the earth. By the word of the Lord the heavens were made, and by the breath of his mouth all their hosts. He gathers the waters of the sea like a mound. He places the deep waters in vaults. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the world tremble before him. For he spoke and it came to be, he commanded and it endured. The Lord has annulled the counsel of nations. He has foiled the schemes of peoples. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the thoughts of his heart throughout all generations. Fortunate is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he chose as a heritage for himself. The Lord looks down from heaven, he beholds all mankind. From his dwelling place he looks intently upon all the inhabitants of the earth. It is he who fashions the hearts of them all, who perceives all their actions. The king is not saved by a great army, nor a warrior rescued by great might. The horsey is a false guarantee for victory. With all its great strength it offers no escape. But the eye of the Lord is directed toward those who fear him, toward those who hope for his kindness, to save their soul from death and to sustain them during famine. Our soul yearns for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, for we have put our trust in his holy name. May your kindness, Lord, be upon us, as we have placed our hope in you. By David, when he feigned insanity before Abimelech, who then drove him away, and he left. I bless the Lord at all times. His praise is always in my mouth. My soul glories in the Lord. Let the humble hear it and rejoice. Exalt the Lord with me, and let us extol his name together. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never humiliated. This poor man called, and the Lord heard. He delivered him from all his tribulations. The angel of the Lord camps around those who fear him and rescues them. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Fortunate is the man who trusts in him. Fear the Lord, you his holy ones, for those who fear him suffer no want. Young lions may want and hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Come, children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Who is the man who desires life, who loves long life wherein to see goodness? Guard your tongue from evil, and your lips from speaking deceit. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are directed toward the righteous, and his ears toward their cry. The wrath of the Lord is upon the evildoers, to excise their memory from the earth. But when they repent and cry out, the Lord hears and saves them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those with a crushed spirit. Many are the afflictions of a righteous person, but the Lord rescues him from them all. He protects all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil brings death upon the wicked, and the enemies of the righteous are condemned. The Lord redeems the soul of his servants. All who take shelter in him are not condemned.